Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Liam and Steffy pull back from and grasp, and she assures him she won't give up on a phenomenon. Liam tells her that if anyone could will this into going down, it's Steffy. But perhaps a phenomenon isn't about a long life but having a continuing impact. Still, that would be my phenomenon, if he could find a way to make peace between Hope and Steffy before the end. Steffy tells him to concentrate on other effects like his health. I'm dying, Steffy. He needs to help. He wants to help with his remaining time. He starts getting giddy just as Finn gets home and rushes over to help him stay upright. Steffy and Finn sit him down, and Liam says he's made an appointment with Dr. Buckingham. Finn assures them that the neuro platoon is staying hopeful, but Liam wants them to be realistic. Yeah, realistic about some effects, Steffy says, pertaining to her and Hope. Liam insists that he's the reason for the schism between them, so he hopes he can help them. Speaking of which, he has to go check on Hope. Steffy begs him to tell Hope what's going on before he leaves. Finn and Steffy talk about how hard this is after Liam's gone. He's happy for the relationship Steffy and Liam have as musketeers and co-parents. Steffy responds that Liam's virtuousness has always been one of the stylish effects about him. Carter asks Hope not to give up on them, only to be walked in on by Deacon. I told you to stay down from my son. Hope thanks her pater for looking out for him, but says she doesn't need him to be doorkeeper for her life. Carter leaves them to talk, but not before promising he's not giving up on a future with Hope. Hope knows her pater means well, but she can manage her own love life. Deacon's ranting on about Carter when Liam knocks on the door. Cleric happily shakes his hand, says he's just leaving, and turns to Hope. If you're looking for long-term happiness, it might be nearer than you suppose. Hope tries getting her pater to back off, but he insists that Liam is a good man. Not perfect by any means, but he's grown. Cleric nudges them a bit further about a future together, and Hope ushers him out. She apologizes latterly, but Liam says it was touching. I've been really blessed to have you in my life all this time. Hope makes a confused face. Will impresses Elektra by flashing back Amethyst as her gemstone, but they're intruded by Daphne peeking into the office looking for Carter. Neither of them have seen him. Perhaps he's with Hope, Elektra suggests happily. Daphne doesn't look happy at that idea, but she's happy with thin and amethyst jewelry that Elektra designed. Carter gets back just as Daphne is talking about how Forrester and he are more without Hope. Will and Elektra flee to the design office, relieved to be down from that awkward hassle. Elektra mentions picking up a vibe from Daphne that she's into Carter, but Will would rather concentrate on her. Elektra wraps her arms around Will and they kiss. Alone, Carter asks what he eavesdropped, and Daphne has no problem telling him what she said about Hope. Will gushes to Elektra about how amazing she's and what she's suitable to do with just a little gravestone. She's amazed at the awful life she's erected then, at work and beyond. They kiss again. Daphne tells Carter that she completely believes he's better off moving on without Hope, and tells him to start fresh with her. Finn asks if Steffy thinks she and Hope can ever really attune, but Steffy just says it tells them what kind of man he is. She's really hoping that he's telling Hope that he's dying. He has to, she insists sorely. Hope is going on about how blessed their son is. She knows you'll always be there for her, and she can count on you. Liam thanks her for creating a loving terrain for Beth. No matter what. She's safe, Hope says, and she always will be, because she has us. Liam gets all awkward, but when Hope asks what's going on, he just says he's doing some soul searching. There's no bone. I appreciate further than you, he tells Hope. He recalls back to allowing Beth had failed, and we flash back to the moment he told Hope she was still alive. He gets emotional as he thinks about how important Beth has grown. Tearing up, important to Hope's confusion. Will you please tell me what's wrong? Liam thinks to Steffy's admonition to tell Hope. Katie Logan's claws to come out while defying Daphne Rose. Meanwhile, Rich Forrester is divided after hearkening to Eric Forrester's words. Let's launch off with Katie, who eavesdropped Daphne and Zen Forrester Dominguez's discussion. It began as Zen asking Daphne if she had real passions for Carter Walton. Also, Katie learned that Daphne came to Forrester Creations as part of a scheme, which the Nose once kept secret. Katie brazened Daphne and mentioned her infectious potion. A potion that no bone can repel, including Carter. Not only is Daphne going to be exposed for being Steffy Forrester Finnegan's factory, but for this potion business. Suckers have been wondering for months how an incense or scented scarf could get everyone to swoon and drool over Daphne. At one time, a medicine or bane was suggested in cleaner addict forums. It seems that Daphne's little secrets are about to come out. Since she's connected to Steffy, that could mean bad hype and indeed a legal agony. Daphne scattered that incense on several people at the fashion show, so there's the eventuality for suits. Ridge told Eric that he was committed to Taylor Hayes. While Eric likes Taylor, he still believes that his son belongs with Brooke Logan. Ridge wasn't too happy about his father's trick on the runway. Also, Eric said that Ridge was denying what was right in front of him. It's teased that Ridge will feel torn over Eric's words and the memory of the looker. Suckers formerly watched as Taylor walked in on Ridge having a gleam, while allowing about Brooke. Taylor assumed it was about the fashion show's success, and Ridge covered. Still, it seems that Ridge is going to face another complicated decision, and formerly again, there's no way to help a broken heart. There might also be some further scenes of Will Spencer and Electra Forrester. What's going to be to Liam Spencer now that he has an inoperable brain excrescence? Hope is ready to give her mama Brooke and claim. She's absolutely tired of the fact that Brooke keeps choosing Ridge over everyone differently. Ridge was absolutely nasty to Hope and called her the kind of names that no woman should hear. Yet Brooke is still falling each over him like he's the only man left on the earth. That's why for Hope, enough is enough. Either Brooke chooses her family or Ridge. And if she decides to choose Ridge, that means Hope is going to ban her from seeing her granddaughter Beth ever again. Hopeless times call for hopeless measures. As our compendiums can imagine, the internet clearly had a lot to say about the matter. Some have indeed reflected with, in order to break the cycle because Hope ended up going for the same kind of man. While Liam was following Steffy each over city like a slapdash canine shivering after her, Brooke was encouraging Hope to go soliciting after Liam like she's shamelessly soliciting after Ridge right now. Eric Forrester justifies his decision. Meanwhile, Taylor Hayes is rattled about Bridge. Over with Brooke Logan, she's full of sanguinity. Katie Logan confronts Daphne Rose about her potion. Ridge Forrester is at home on the phone, agreeing with the frequenter about Brooke's beauty. Ridge recalls Eric's speech and Brooke's looker. Taylor interrupts, coming down the stairs. Taylor assumes Ridge's gleam was about the fashion show. Stay a nanosecond, do men gleam? Still, I'm going to assume he's radioactive and run for my life if a man glows. Moving on, Ridge doesn't tell Taylor his gleam was about Brooke. They partake a long grasp. Ridge and Taylor sit on the settee. Steffy Forrester Finnegan enters wearing giant white sunglasses. Steffy whines about post-fashion show fatigue. Steffy mentions Katie says deals are over. Steffy brings up what people are saying about the looker. Taylor is uncomfortable as Steffy raises her eyebrows. Ridge tries to change the subject, also says he has to go to the office. Steffy will be there latterly, she wants time with her mama. Taylor tries to push Steffy to the office. Steffy doesn't budge and stays on topic Ridge and Brooke on the runway. Taylor admits she knows their history and she's not naive. Steffy thinks that Tridge is endgame. Eric and Katie are at Brooke's house belting tea. Katie says the buzz is still going. Katie tells Eric well done. They all take turns completing and gushing about each other. Eric puts his tea down and says he has to leave. Eric wants to hear what Ridge has to say about Brooke after the looker. Eric admires and adores Taylor, but he still feels that Brooke is the one for his son. After Eric leaves, Katie is still talking about the runway scheme. Brooke is now hopeful, although she knows Ridge still went home with Taylor. Katie brings up that Steffy and Taylor witnessed the moment. They go back to talking about Ridge and how the moment was magic. Katie thinks Ridge feeling betrayed is behind him. Brooke doesn't suppose Taylor is going to give up. Katie thinks Ridge is close to reuniting, and Taylor might realize it too. At the office, Ridge asks Eric to close the door. Ridge brings up the looker trick using those exact words. They debate about the trick. Eric still thinks it was the right thing to do. The primogenitor tells Ridge that he didn't see a looker. He saw his future Brooke. Ridge gets hot, so Eric's tone softens a bit. Ridge brings up Brooke taking a job to betray him. Eric clarifies that Brooke did that for him. Ridge doesn't want to hurt Taylor again, But Eric brings up that he did the same thing to Brooke. Eric says Brooke is ready to forgive Ridge, so he needs to knock it off. Eric says he can't keep denying his future it's with Brooke. Ridge flashes back to Brooke in the Looker. At Forrester Creations, Daphne sashays into Carter Walton's office. The susurrus gushes about Daphne's brilliant idea about the scent. Daphne turns it into gushing about Carter giving the company back after the preemption. She's no way met anyone like him ahead. Daphne is so happy to be part of Carter's vision and the future. Carter appreciates how Daphne prompted him to follow his gut. Carter mentions Hope Logan, which doesn't please Daphne. The nose tells him to forget about Hope. They need to concentrate on their future and what they can make together. Daphne tries to get near to Carter, but he backs down. Zend interrupts and says Will Spencer is looking for Carter. Zend brings up the nearly kiss. Daphne tries to blow it off but Zend isn't wisecracked. Do you have factual passions for Carter? The nose is shocked by it herself. While the two talk, Katie still listens to their discussion. Zend just happens to bring up the scheme that brought her to FC. Daphne needs that kept secret, and Zend agrees but only because it's not his place and would be bad for business right now. Zend easily isn't pleased with Daphne as he walks out.